defending. It's going to be eSuba on the blue side attacking, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this Type 4 heavy performs.
Of course, Mouses will stick together team, and they are trying to press in to eSuba immediately. Now, this is something surprising for me by eSuba. They're actually going toward that one cap, so they will try to do cap pressure and fight against Mouses. But this is, in my eyes, this is actually playing in the hand of Oops. Interesting play by Overus here.
Overus, they're just, I guess, driving in just to make himself safe in case he got shot at. But, I mean, he's the attacking team. He's going to go in there and proxy spot for his team, I guess.
Exactly, that's what he's doing. When he is fast enough and he knows there is barely anyone who can stop him, you can go there and you can proxy entire team and then announce the rotation from enemy, like that. He can just hug the walls and proxy all the time and see the tanks before they come out of the corners. Super important.
Triple cap coming in here for eSuba as they put the back chats onto the cap circle in support of Frawley. Looks like actually they backed off Mojo rather than go all the way in here.
Oh, Overus here is getting wrecked because he got a guest insider. So yeah, he is now a bit, let's say, indisposed, so he cannot really do all he wanted, and he will definitely not do any damage with that light in this game. We need to see what will the mouse tanks from Oops do. Where will they gather up and when will they push in?
So sitting here on base 2, Camille and Insane protecting this area. Cap still going on in base 1 with the IS-7 of eSuba here. Frawley sitting doing that. Now, nobody can actually get shots on him at the moment. There's no need for Oops to push into that, but when we do see that area get pushed, there's going to be a hell of a fight in just a couple of moments.
Amazing is that Algo is still far, far, far away here. He's completely not even attempting to challenge them. The only guy who can play against him is Combat, and he is spotted. So I don't know why is Algo still waiting. He should be there already pushing the zero line.
Now, Oops are starting to get their health chipped away here, Mojo. They haven't really done much else in return. The Milosh is taking a couple of hits, Melan's taking a hit, and Deka's taking some hits as well. There's another one actually into Milosh from Frawley.
Yeah, this is important because Milosh with his derp gun is probably the prime guy they need to decap this cap pressure that's going on. But you can see already Tomaszek is taking some damage. Algo is now chipping on him.
A nice clip out here from Algo. He's got Tomaszek. Can he get one more shot into him? That will be a kill. As he does, it's actually Insane. Picking up the first kill here for Oops. Cap circle down to 13 seconds. Somebody needs to get a reset in quickly here, Mojo, or it's going to be all over already here for Oops.
Quickly, it's going to be a problem, but there is a reset, and Deka will pay entire mouse for it. He's on 97 HP. Still, that leaves them with 2,000 more, and considering eSuba actually lost the T-57, which is a super important tank for them, it's still everybody's game. But in this case, now, I would actually give it more to eSuba because they're more mobile.
Insane and Silence pushing down in here into Death Alley, where they've already lost Deka on their team. Now, Lucan is playing a bit of peekaboo here, trying to bait out shots as Combat actually gets hit driving past there. Nice shot there from Silence.
This is really good, actually, now going on for Oops, because if they deny them those fast tanks, they are going to be in a lead. Yes, Milosh finally fell in his Type 4 heavy. He lost so much HP trying to decap. But Andrew is down, and now Algo will be actually behind the eSuba team. This is super important.
Algo needs to make his shots count here. He can get as many as he can into Frawley. He is spotted out though, but he can see Combat. He's going to get a shot into Combat here. One shot, one kill. He does it. Now Pratilicek backs off. Can he get a tracking shot? No, he can't. He has to be careful here. He can get shots into IS-7 now as well. Looking getting bullied here by the two mouse of Silence and Insane. They're going to turn their guns now onto Frawley. And this is a really nice counterplay here by Oops Mojo, and it looks like they're going to take control of the first round.
This is something I didn't understand. eSuba should have fought for that zero line heavily, prevented Algo from any side shots, preventing them from just pushing their mouse easy like that. They just handed it over. Overus is still playing his little mind game there. And Pratilicek is the only guy left that can do anything for them, but that's just not gonna happen. And look at this. Even with those tanks down, Oops still has 5k HP.
Very nicely done there from Oops. It looked a bit ropey there for a little while, but they were able to focus their shots. Really nice flank from Algo coming in there at the end as well to give that crossfire to put the additional pressure there onto eSuba when the two mouses were coming round as well. And yeah, okay, they lost Milosh, but they'll take that. They lost Milosh, they lost a mouse, but everyone else still standing.
You can always say that they lost Milosh, who cares? I have Algo in my team and he was stat padding for me all the time.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you have Spoink in your team?
No.
I can't remember if I put Spoink in my team either. I've got a horrible feeling I've put Spoink in my team.
Ducky does for sure, I know that.
Fantasy is so difficult right now.
I have four guys from Oops.
There's one thing for sure, that me, you and Daki can all put the same player in our team and he won't play that week. So usually that's good for all three of us. Well,
so far all of my guys played.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
The weekend is still young, Mojo.
Yeah, but still, in this case, Oops played very, very well. That late rotation by Algo, I don't know, was it intentional, was it a command or whatever, but it paid out handsomely because after 57 actually emptied the clip and Mouses told him, okay, he is there. He just came out from middle of the nowhere and from the edges of the map, from the red line, he shot his side, took out a very important tank from eSuba, and after they actually fell like dominoes. It was just one critical thing that Oops was not sure of. They thought they will decap with Type 4 Heavy very easy, which didn't happen, so they had to sacrifice all HP from one mouse, Deha in this case, in my team.
But
and he decapped.
At the same time, it worked out to their benefit. I mean, let's have a look at the damage here, Mojo, and see where it all came from. Now, I'm happy because I have Algo in my team. He did really well here. Frolly, most of that damage, probably at least half of that damage, was on Milosh. He had lots of easy shots into Milosh. He would have got lots of shots into, well, it wouldn't be in the mouse because he was further around the hill, but, I mean, he survived for a long time there, Frolly. It was really good damage from him. Pratilicek as well, actually, doing 3.6k here. Nicely done as well, but, I mean, Silence coming in, 3k damage, 2 kills.
It's another good game for him by Mouse. He played it well yesterday. Also, both top damage dealers coming from eSuba, rather weird when you see something like this. That means that most of the other guys from their team had no space where to do the damage.
I mean, the other one was Lucan, who was the one fighting on Death Alley, but you can see here, Mojo, like you're saying, the back three players coming in, Combat, Overus, and Tomasek. Tomasek not even landing 2 of his shots.
Unbelievable. He lost a 57 without even landing a damaged shell, which is quite horrible for that tank. I mean, Overus is now playing tier 8, and he was usually playing tier 10s while Tomasek was tier 8. I don't know why did this switcheroo happen, but we've seen it even in previous matches.
Maybe just particular tanks or something like that they're playing on. Maybe different players have different experience on different tanks.
Oh, God knows. You can ask them on interview
yeah,
if you have
I mean, that's something actually I was going to suggest. Maybe we can get questions from the viewers if they could send us a tweet. I believe our Twitter is at WGL EU. We can perhaps look for any good questions to ask the teams next week, because it is the final week next week. So it'll be interesting to see what the viewers would like us to ask the teams. Because, you know, that's it. There's no more after that. It's who goes to LAN finals, who doesn't go to LAN finals.
Actually, who goes to playoffs?
Playoffs, yeah, sorry, then LAN finals. Same thing. It does decide who goes to
Not really.
Well, in my brain, it makes sense, Mojo, and that's all that matters to me.
That's good to have your own reality secluded from everyone else and being secure of what you think and do.
Yep.
But these guys clashing immediately here, a lot of Mouses as we expected, that's cool, but we now need to see when they switch sides, what's going to happen.
Yeah, are they going to change up vehicles? Are we going to see something different? Are we going to continue to see Type 4 Heavy? Maybe we see a Type 5 Heavy? Might we see a T95, for example, that got buffed recently as well? Could we see some of the other German Heavies that were introduced recently as well? Are they going to factor in?
Yeah, we haven't seen them yet, but honestly, I don't know. I didn't have time to test them myself. I would really like to. I saw they looked quite quirky and weird. Like one of them I almost mixed up with E100 when I saw it, and I was like, what? This is a tier 8? So what's going on here? So yeah, there's plenty of the things to be explored here still. We are just in the first week after the patch. There's going to be one more, and then everyone will just have to prepare for playoffs, season finals, so important parts.
This week, in between this weekend and next weekend, the teams are going to be busting a gut really to get in as much practice as possible. Let's actually have a look at the lineups, Mojo, and see if there is any of those vehicles that we mentioned. And yes, I do see a Type 5 Heavy.
Well, we have a rather interesting setup here by Oops. So again, 3 Mouses and Type 4 Heavy, but having 3 Bachats here is also very important. So they use 1 tier 9 on Type 4 Heavy, and they have that HP, armor, and derp gun. And they have quite a lot of mobility with these 3 guys to cover their flanks. The eSuba on the other side, yes, they have 3 guys like Mouse and Type 5 Heavy, but I kind of prefer the Oops build in this one. It gives them more flexibility even with those low tanks.
Yeah, I mean, even adding in the 2 Mouse and Type 5 Heavy, it's still a kind of standard pick from eSuba that we see with the Batchat AMX30 Pro type to sit up in A1, A2 to reset the base, and then like the kind of heavier tanks to go into the town. Now for Oops, it's very night and day almost. You've got like slow, big, fat, heavy tanks with the armor. Then you have these 3 fast Batchats. So
it's like a normal battle. Heavy cavalry middle and light cavalry in the flanks. doing the stuff, man.
Well, let's see how exactly this is going to work, Mojo, as Oops are going to be on the red side attacking, eSuba are going to be on the blue side defending. And well, yeah, I mean, this lineup from Oops to me actually looks really interesting. It is like kind of like randoms in a way. It's like you expect your mediums to do one thing, you expect your heavies to do the other. And hopefully they'll do their jobs and come together.
And this is exactly what I actually expected from Oops, to push with these 3 mediums down on the lower line to maybe try to take advantage, because there is 3 of them and Andrew is alone. Let's see, will they actually succeed in that, because they're going super aggressive while their heavies are, of course, slowly going for the middle. Slowly, I'm going to emphasize on that one.
Now, here we see the reloads just coming off that are going to get the jump onto Andrew. They see him. Andrew sees all 3 of these tanks as well. Can eSuba react to this? How quickly are tanks going to go down here? And who's going to go down first? This is going to be really interesting, Mojo.
Not only that, we need to see will Combat actually get spotted. Maybe he will have to fall down from his position. And then it will be really brilliant here for Oops, because it's not like eSuba can just march in and attack these 3 mouses and Type 4 heavy. They don't have the potential for that, and also they don't have fast enough tanks to just go in these guys. And there is the triple cap coming from the start here, while Milos with his drop gun is covering their flank.
Triple cap coming. We saw something similar like this. I think it was Kazna Crew or Ding did it yesterday, where we had it was Ding actually, because that's where in the second round you had Mertorius where Milos is. Now, how are eSuba going to react to this? As the first shot already comes out, and look in, it gets his tracks damage there in the Type 5 Heavy.
Okay, Oops is now understanding what is actually eSuba trying. eSuba is trying to strike them from the back, but they are keeping several heavy tanks so they can just try to pincer attack them. I don't know will it actually work, because look at this, 10 seconds.
10 seconds and the reset comes in there from Frawley. No counter shot back into him as Decha takes one there in the mouse, takes another one now in the mouse. Now Camille and his Batchat is ammo rack. That could be really vital as the fight goes on here, because you're going to have a slower reload. Damage continue to go out there onto Camille. He's actually taking a lot of damage there in the mouse. So is Meland right now. Now, eSuba are able to poke and prod from all different directions, and there's no counter-fire coming back here from Oops at the moment. They just can't get angles back on them.
This is a problem. Camille tried to peek on that upper street, which was major mistake, because they need to deal with Tomaszek, who is shooting them in the back. Actually, with Frawley, sorry. And Camille, that's why he picked up so much damage. Now, Oops is actually staggering, but there is still potential for them.
Combat just got us a kill on Algo there, so Oops have lost one of their tier 9 Batchat. Oh, sorry, their only tier 9 Batchat. But look at the damage going around here to Oops in the middle. They're just getting shot at from every side. Frawley's on a free damage farm here. We've now got Meland down onto one shot. Decha is almost down onto one shot. Camille is pretty much on a one shot on his Batchat. Like, Insane and Milos, where are you guys right now? Where's the damage coming from? Like, eSuba are barely taking any in return here.
I think this was a huge misplay by the mediums from Oops, honestly, here. Because I expected them to keep themselves like a flock of tanks, to be together and to try to kill them. Like, you have those heavies in the middle, and they can push out one side, and all those Batchats could have pushed where the T10 is, kill him, and keep on pushing, together with mouse tanks. And that's something that eSuba could not respond to, but they were just playing like 2 separate units, trying to hold corners with Batchats. That's bad.
This is over. This is already over, Mojo. This is unbelievable. Like, Oops had... they should have had an advantage coming in here, but eSuba were able to get a nice surround on them, an easy surround on them, and just completely start chipping away at their health. Oops only have Insane left in the corner, nowhere near the fight, and eSuba still have 6 tanks alive right now. Now, these 6 tanks have taken down 3 Maus and a Type 4 Heavy, a Batchat, and a Tier 9 Batchat.
You could see that derp gun from Type 4 Heavy in action, 1400 point blank, and that Batchat. Insane is trying to do some damage here, that's fine, but it's just not going to work out.
The little frustration there of the aiming circle shake. Andrew picking up the kill here, and eSuba players are going to have some massive damage stats, Mojo. We might see a break of the 6k here.
Yeah, but we said that these maps will be close, that yeah, some of them can of course pick up 2-0, but it's highly unlikely, especially because of this kind of meta. In this case, I actually think Oops had a chance. They had a good build. I don't think they played it out well, because they left a lot of mediums to cover the other side of the battlefield, expecting eSuba will actually push from that side. That was a huge miscalculation by them, because eSuba actually came from their back, and that's something they didn't cover well. Then Camille picked around with corner with that Batchat, like he's playing, I don't know, super armored Abrams tank or whatever, and he didn't. He played a Batchat. So that's why he lost 3/4 of his HP before he even would land a shell. So that's quite normal. If they actually came there as a pack of Bachats around those buildings, they would kill that T10 easy, pick up maybe 1 or 2 shots in exchange, but there would be no one to harass the mouse tanks from the back, and mouse tanks would have an option to actually push toward that side and create a crossfire together with the Bachats, which would have a completely different game here.
Yep.
But they were just going left and right, clueless in the cap, and it costed them.
It's the old saying, if you're surrounded, pick a direction and just try and break out, and Oops couldn't do that. I mean, look at the damage farmed here from eSuba. Top 5 players, 4 of them all from eSuba, and 4 of them pretty much all coming in around about 3k or more there. Frolly 3 point, that's pretty much 4k damage from Frolly. Practically check 3.6, Insane 3.5, but that's Oops. Combat then AMX 30, 3k damage. Andrew in the back chat, 3k damage. Like, I mean, great play from Combat considering where he was at the start of the match.
Milos is here on the first page, but let us remind the shot he did at the end part of the game where it was already GG over. He did 1400 of that. Actually, his real damage during the battle is somewhere there with Camille. Yeah,
that was, I mean, the two tier, I mean, a tier 9 and a tier 10, okay. But still, like, Camille, we know he's a better player than this. He only landed 3 shots, he was ammo racked. I mean, that's still, to be frankly, not good. Oops should have done better from what they had in their lineup. They got themselves surrounded and they had no, like you said, there was no coordination between mediums and heavies there to pick a direction and try and set up the crossfire or even do anything. It was like the heavies were just sitting there saying help.
Yeah, I've been thinking something yesterday when I was watching one battle. There was a battle between Ding and Oops on mines. Oops did win it, but there was some hesitation when they were pushing toward the hill. You could see a frustration in Insane's voice. Like, what are you doing? Push with those heavies. I will not use his exact words. I'm going to get punished for that.
Because the heavies are there to take the damage.
Yes, you need to press in. So I was thinking, like, why the frustration, everything? I understand him perfectly because I lead battles also. You expect everyone to rely on each other and do their role. But a lot of people subconsciously don't trust everyone. And that's that moment of hesitation. Should I go? If I take too much damage, everyone will say, oh, look at this bozo, what he's doing. He has no clue how to play. But in reality, he might have been sold out by his teammate. So we saw Algo, who got a command with mediums to push, and Heavies got the command to push. Heavies didn't push, and Algo was, oh, he shot me because he took a brunt hit of Type I Heavy that was never meant to go his way. Never. And he lost like 1400 HP immediately, like and then a T49. Bam!
He got double derped, like bam bam, gone.
But that's usually with the teams that don't play that long together. Then again, you will have a team like, let's say, Navi, who plays years together. When they say go, you can see a fluent motion. They go. Yeah. And they will either win it or they die.
It's but the other thing as well, it's always decisive with Navi. It's pretty much you take the first kill, you kill a tank of Navi, bam, they're almost immediate. It's an almost immediate reply. They're straight back into the fight.
Yeah, they're like wasps, man. They will just fight to it.
Now we're going into our second map, excuse me, which is going to be Himmelsdorf. Let's have a look at the lineups here, Mojo. And we're expecting a heavy lineup again. Let's see just how heavy it's going to be.
Woohoo! eSuba, 4 mouse tanks, and here again, 2 more from Oops and Type 4 Heavy. This is going to be super interesting. Let's see how we'll actually try to play this, because they have an E3 also. I mean, usually we would say, yeah, this is not a build that will go toward the rail, but let's be honest, eSuba with this can do whatever they want.
Okay, well, let's find out how this one's going to go. It's all square 1-1. We're going down to Himmelsdorf.
Himmelsdorf, a small city map. The teams start the battle in opposite corners. Both bases are located close to each other, but in a way that you can't stay on the defensive all the time. The main attack routes pass through the hill, the alley and the railroad, but in general, the attack can be successfully executed through any part of the map. Heavy tanks and tank destroyers with powerful guns run the show here. However, a lot depends on the mobile light tanks.
Okay, and here we go, Mojo. eSuba blue team, and it's going to be Oops red team. I was going to ask just before we jumped into battle, usually when we see this recently, they've been going hill sometimes as well, like just all rolling up the hill.
It looks like they're going to play it conservative. I was expecting something super risky, maybe to split forces, send like mouse tanks toward the rail, and E3 and Bachat and 1390 toward the top cap, because that's one of the splits we've seen lately, because you can just do it. You split up the enemy team and then you press from both sides. And then the defender has to choose how to deal with it.
eSuba here, you can see, working on their accuracy stats for the WGL, making a big mess of that with the blind fire shots into the area. Now, there's been a substitution here, Mojo, for Oops, where we see Algo swapped out for the dead zone. And let me see, you look like you've got your crayons ready here, Mojo.
Well, it might be so, but this is what I meant. Like, you can usually, in some of the versions, what you've seen, position your heavies in these areas here and just try to pressure these kind of defense and shoot them in the back if enemy stays there too long, and then you put a cap tank here, a cap tank here, you can keep a E3 here to cover them, and then you just run away with these if they're pressured. You can just go away. Oops is actually expecting that, and that's why you can see so many of their tanks clustered there. What eSuba is doing here, they're gonna probably just push with 1390 here, and they're gonna put mouse tanks here to cover him, and E3 will still do his job from here. And that's how they're gonna play it. Bachat most likely will stay on the hill to cover the back line here, or from here, so they can't get backside backstab.
Pratilicek got tracked and got damaged gun, Mojo, so he's already used the repair kit. That was a nice shot, a nice little snapshot out there connecting with him.
This is good position by Deha.
Gun and tracks, though. What kind of shot was that?
This is good position by Deha here. Oof, nice damage here by Pratilicek. He was in position to spot, do damage, and now he's crossing. This is something we've expected, that mouse on this position will take over for IS-4 that was usually used before.
That's answered my questions, what damaged the gun and the tracks. It was Milosh and the Type 4 Heavy there firing the derp gun. Now the mouse is charging down here. Looking takes a bit of damage as he comes down here. Looking actually dead gunner and dead viewport, Mojo. Looking at damage they're taking here, but they really need to try and get these shots out as much as they can. Combat taking a pummeling here. He's down to 2/3 of his health at the moment. Sorry. Yes, he is actually.
Yeah, Combat taking a pummeling. He has only 2000 HP left. Call the SOS.
I was thinking he's still got more HP than the back chat. It's like, you know, it doesn't matter. It's like, bah, boys have lost half HP and they're just like, so what, Combat? So
okay.
what?
1k more and Oops will have exactly the same HP as eSuba.
Yeah, close but no cigar. Sit down, Hector. Combat taking more damage here, but still, it's nothing when it's a mouse that you're shooting at here.
Nice drop action here on Pratilicek, because he actually needs that HP. He's now on 500 HP.
And Combat continues to be focused here, Mojo, but he's still got 983 health at the moment, so the mouse is going to turn around, they're going to try and plant their butts on the cap. They're going to try and triple cap here, or they're just going to sit a wreckage.
They're going to put the mouse and then 1390 on the left and protecting from each side.
Oh, they're going to box them in.
Let's gonna see!
Ah, I've been waiting for this. I joked about this yesterday. Why doesn't somebody just take a light tank and box them in with the mouses? The only person who could potentially get a reset in this situation would be Milosh with the derp gun, but eSuba have to be careful that the tanks don't die and leave a gap there that someone can shoot through. It's all going to be down on the resets here for Oops, and they need to keep shooting these tanks and keep the resets going.
I don't think this is a viable option what they're doing. They're gonna die miserably here, and eventually Oops will have HE shell loaded on dead zone or on even some of the mouses or on Milosh, and they're gonna do it.
Milan coming around the bottom here is going to be a dangerous move as Combat is down to a one-shot. Now, Combat is dead, so that's something that Tomasek can't move past here, and the mouses have to also be careful they don't crush the 1390 by moving backwards too quickly or something like that.
I just don't like this. This kind of cheese doesn't work, man. If they actually played from A-line, from the top, they would have a theoretical chance, because it's super hard to pen them, and they would be able to protect the 1390, and they would still have a lot of potential how to do damage. But look at this. They're just getting shot all over the place.
Yes, and this is a danger I talked about now. Now the 1390 can't move. He's boxed in. He can't run away. He can't get safe. And this is an absolute landslide win here from Oops. If they can keep a tank up, it's going to be a whitewash here. It's going to be a 7-0. Only Frawley left to try and do some damage, and I don't think that's going to happen. This is going to be a really strong win here for Oops, as Frawley takes multiple shots. One more hit, and he's dead. Who's going to get the killing blow? Looks like it might be Insane. Oh no!
Honestly, I think Dead Zone is kicking his boots here, because he, with Penta, was doing this cheese cap stuff all over the place. And this is not the way how to do it, guys. This is not the way how to do it.
Camille, don't throw your life away so worthlessly. Oh, they both miss!
Seriously, Camille, kill him, man. Thank you, thank you.
Gets the kill.
No.
There we go.
Oh,
so,
man.
Oops, surviving 7 tanks to 0 there of eSuba. eSuba trying to go for a little bit of cheese, and Oops were just like, no thank you.
Well, this is what you get when a cheese goes bad, man. Just a bad taste and smell.
Ne pas fromage, as Insane would say.
Blue cheese there.
Blue cheese. I don't like blue cheese myself.
No.
Hate it.
Well,
Give me a nice bit of cheddar. Nice bit of cheddar.
Well, I expected much more from this section from eSuba here. As I said, there was much more potential what to do with this kind of build. One of those Oops was actually afraid of, and you could see the positioning of their tanks in the top part of the map, because they were expecting they will try to split them up, and they will just need to storm the upper part and deal with those faster tanks. But this way, eSuba just gave them the victory, because I don't know what they were trying to do, but they took so much damage while they were crossing, and then this fail cap. I can't even have another. Like,
the box cap can work.
I mean, I can be salty as I want, but this was really just bad play.
Yeah,
man.
it was a bit rough. Top damage dealers here coming out for 3 players of Oops, and that's some impressive damage shared across the board, but there was multiple mouths to be shot at. Deca coming in at 4k, Silence coming at 3.4, another big damaging game for him actually right now. He's doing really well. Deadzone coming into this in the Waffle 4, doing pretty much 3k damage there. I mean, when you have so many big, fat, heavy tanks on the board mojo on the battlefield, there's always going to be a lot of damage shared across the players, unless someone just has an insane farm like Milos did yesterday.
I mean, in this particular match, this is what worries me. eSuba just handed over this game to Oops. We already know that Oops on attack actually knows how to play decent and split the enemy up. If actually eSuba plays super heavy, I think Oops will know how to deal with it. And this is a real chance for Oops to break off and take 3-1 lead, which is really crucial for them. And this is a match that really decides a lot between these two. You cannot make mistakes like this.
Indeed, indeed. Now, can he turn it around going on the other side? I think I have to apologise as well for anyone who speaks French in chat. I know I said that wrong. I do believe the term is pas de fromage, which is no cheese. So
I will not even go there because I have no idea what you're saying.
I hand in my heart admit that I don't speak French, and as anyone will verify, it's taken me at least 35 years to learn English, and I'm still trying to work my way there.
You speak English?
Apparently so, yes.
Okay.
Just with a slight accent. It's very distinct. Sometimes you hear it come through.
I've heard what's actually Scottish English, but never mind. We're not gonna go over there.
The drunk Scots mojo, that's what you really like.
It's a special English.
Okay, now teams are going to swap positions here on Himmelsdorf. It's going to be Oops doing the attack. It's going to be eSuba defending. Do you think we're going to get similar lineups?
Well, mouse is the way at the moment. So if you don't have enough of them, like, you will really get wrecked.
Just take more if you got
If you
beat in the
have
previous
too many,
rounds.
it can kind of bounce away.
Well, let's see if that's what's going to happen here. Can we have a look at the lineups and see what the vehicles are going to be used? Oh, we've got Type 5 Heavy this time.
Type 5 Heavy here in attack by Oops, so they're using that more or less instead of Tank Destroyer. 3 mouse coming in from eSuba. This is going to be a sturdy defense there, and we've seen already something how it's used.
I like this from Oops. They're experimenting, they're doing new stuff, which shows that they've been actually putting the practice in and coming up with new strategies rather than relying on the old strategies, thinking, okay, guys, things have changed. Let's use this to our advantage, because they really want this win. They need this win, and from the team that we saw last season, it's definitely not the same team this season.
I think if Oops actually manages to pick up 3 points from this, they will take over eSuba, and GRS is out of the question. They will not be able to take any steps closer to them. And this is what Oops needs. Also, let's not forget, we said already, grand final points. Every position, you need it now on standings.
Super vital. Now, Oops are going to be on the red side attacking, eSuba are going to be on the blue side defending. eSuba and Oops, if you are fans of these teams, you have the Facebook links at the top of the page. Drop by the Facebook and give them a hello, give them some support. Some of the teams also do have Twitter, so you can maybe get that on their Facebook page and just, you know, give these guys your support. Let them know that you're behind them, that you have confidence in them.
Let's see how will actually Oops split off. That's going to be rather interesting to see. Especially I'm interested to see where is that Type 5 going. Is he going for the hill maybe? Yeah, Type 5 is going to the hill instead of the Tank Destroyers that you would usually expect them. Overus got early shot there, very conservative consumables there, using medic and repair and fire extinguisher, no rations whatsoever. That's quite surprising.
Yep, he gets shot again actually, this time gun and gunner as he passed through again. Now Mayland's reloading, it looked like Deadzone perhaps got that one, because the first one I think came from Mayland, or the second one might came from Mayland, he just reloaded straight away.
Tomaszek and Overus are switching on the light
actually.
tanks, and I don't think this is the best result for them. You should have one guy who is specialized to place those tanks, and he should know every corner and how to do it. Like, you should not take damage with a light tank doing this. Dead Zone spotting the middle together with Deja, and you have even a fire line of Mouses there. They're going to do a huge push, full speed over. It looks like over the courtyard because they want to split eSuba tanks in half.
Courtyard control coming out here from Oops as the Insane stops. Silence goes into the back of them, and now what we can see here is a very bold play. Oh, careful there over us. From Camille poking over here onto Frolic. Oh no, actually it's not Camille, it's Milos now.
Milos,
okay,
man, they cannot challenge him. Like when they see him there in cooldown, there is only one thing they can do. Retreat.
Yeah. You do not want that rolling over in your face in a Type 5 heavy. If he's, I mean, he could pen Frolly, he could demolish over us. If he pens Frolly, that damage will be absolutely brutal.
He even doesn't have to damage him for that much. If he kills some of his crew member and does some damage, that's a good damage for them, because Frolly is super important tank, being a 50B.
Now, Melan sitting in this area here, expecting some tanks of eSuba to be on the rails, and it doesn't look like eSuba are in that area, Mojo. Most of the tanks here are north. In fact, all of their tanks actually are north.
I think Dead Zone and the guys should soon realize there is no one on the rail and maybe start the pressure toward the one line, because let's face it, eSuba, they don't even have anything like Type 4 and Type 5 that can just splash over the building. They have only normal tanks, of which 3 are mouse tanks. So fighting for a decap on that side, it's gonna be miserable for them.
Yep, now Dead Zone's starting to move up. At some point he'll be able to tell his team if he gets spotted or not. And then they're going to have to guess how many tanks are over there. Now, at the moment, eSuba are lined up expecting a push coming down from the hill, but it's not happening. Milos and Camille are just holding their attention there, while the rest of the tanks from Oops are just sitting south of the map here, Mojo. I mean, how are Oops going to go forward from here?
I think they just need to relocate. They're already doing. Insane is going his courtyard control, as we said. So he is going to position here to see them from the back, and he will split them in half on that 5 line. He will spot any kind of movement there. Once they position their tanks, that combat is kind of isolated. Dead Zone will move to the cap.
Okay, so Dead Zone's then going to go to cap 1. Okay, yeah, I was wondering how that was going to go. I was wondering if the team was just going to like sweep round from the left-hand side, but well, they've got a base there that they can just sweep round on, so that'd be really nicely done. Tomasek looks like he's expecting something here.
Oh, Milos picked up some damage there. It's going to be interesting to see, but he is not returning any. It does look like with that derp gun, it's kind of 50-50. We've seen pens from the close, but we haven't seen any big connections from afar yet.
You see Tomasek here aiming down that road on the 5 line. He spots out Insane, but doesn't actually pen. Pratlicek moving straight away to cover.
Insane crossing the road, man.
Insane, that's bold. Pratlicek can clip out into him. There's 2 shots taken for no damage in return there. Now look at this. Milos is actually aiming towards the railroad. Dead Zone's moved up right beside the base, Mojo, at base 1. Insane's able to give his team a lot of information. He can tell that there's 2 tanks up by base 2 at least.
This is the problem now with Mouses, because it takes so much time to take positions. But once you do, they're like a dug-in fortress.
This is the thing as well. Can Oops convince eSuba that they're trying to make a move down the banana road up the right-hand side of the map and pull away combat and over us, and then Dead Zone can go into cap. You'll have Melan supporting him, you'll have Sealance, you'll have Deca as well, and then Oops can actually have a really good hold here, Mojo, on base 1.
Honestly, I think Camille should already even leave the hill and just go boost position of Dead Zone somewhere. I don't think he's needed on the hill. I mean, if they actually push Type 4 heavy there, fine. Cap it and finish the game. Who cares?
Andrew and Tomasek doing the rocking back and forward. The angle right now here, pretty much impossible.
And there you go, he's going.
Yep, pretty much impossible here for Insane to pen. He needs the front of the turret to be able to get the shot through. Dead Zone backing off now, Mojo.
Dead Zone? No, he's in light tank. He's actually approaching the cap. Camille is backing off from the hill, as I said, because he needs to boost those positions.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dead Zone's backed off in the area where he was. He was right up beside it, round about G1.
Yeah,
now
because he was on the other side of wagons. He actually has to approach from this side, so he would not get shot easily.
Okay, so he's just sitting right on the edge of the cap now, waiting for the signal to go in. Trying to be super careful here not to trigger the cap. Bold play, bold play. He's spotted. Overus has him spotted, so the game's up. Combat spotted. Dead Zone doesn't know where Overus is. Dead Zone's going to push up to the next area.
Interesting.
The next crossroad.
He is actually just trying to see who is spotting, so he will not do the cap himself. That's rather surprising for me, but okay, it can make sense.
Frolly got tracked and he got shot there. Now, it's Milos up on the hill spotted, and Camille's coming over to try and get shots as well. They could do a lot of damage on Frolly on that hill at the moment.
Unbelievable, but actually Camille actually came back. I really expected he will go here to he can boost the cap together with Dead Zone.
Cheeky little shot there from Dead Zone, getting one into combat. Now Pratilicek's coming over to cover him as well, but look at this. Oops are actually taking control of base 1. They're pushing him quite hard here. Frawley taking a big hit in the back there from Camille as he moves. And look at this, free damage. Oh no, Camille missed already. Missed with the second, misses with a third. Dead Zone actually gets a kill on Overus, so the game's up on that side. And eSuba are scrambling back to cover the other side, Mojo. And now they have to deal with the fact that Oops can send in 2 tanks round the back as well.
Dead Zone needs to trigger the cap. Come on, man. There we go.
This is going to be vital for eSuba. How are they going to come out of this? Because there's some really nice crossfires here from Oops.
There is
really
only one
nice
way
angles.
they can do this. They need to push in and hope for the best that actually Oops doesn't know how to click mouse 1.
And Insane and Deca, Mojo, they're doing the rope-a-dope. They're going up to base 2 as well. Could they try and triple cap them from behind?
I think they're just trying to clear the back, and now it will leave eSuba in the dire choice we were talking about. If you have a lot of slow tanks, how will you split them up and how will you deal with the cap?
Frawley is removed here. Dead Zone taking him over to base 1 was a Duke, and it looks like Oops are making a play here for base 2. As the triple cap goes in, Dead Zone goes into the corner, and he has all these heavy tanks coming in support of him.
This is really good because actually what Oops did, they kept all the sides open. So they could have played the both sides as they chose, even with those slow tanks. But this is a good mind play, man. eSuba is a toast.
eSuba just have absolutely no idea what to do now. They're like, guys, they're at base 1. No, now they're at base 2. 3 cap going on at base 2. eSuba are having to come back. This means they're going to get shot in the back by Mainland. And also they had a tank right in the middle here, but he's moved out as well. Combat's playing courtyard control on his own, but it doesn't matter he's in that area. He's doing nothing for his team. Silence is bullying him right now, actually. He's absolutely bullying him in this corner. Combat's going to be in a one-shot. Silence can ram him to death if he wanted to. Meanwhile, the cap is still going on. There's 6 seconds left to go. 3 seconds. There's no reset coming in here at all. Look at the damage that can go back out in these tanks if they do so. 0 seconds. Andrew doesn't have a shot on Insane, and Oops have completely outplayed eSuba there. Lovely, lovely tactic. Very well played.
Again, split on Himmelsdorf variation of their tactic they already used a couple of days ago. Same in spirit, completely different play, but same in spirit. Idea, driving behind it is the same. You see the weakness in rotation of the enemy, the tanks are too slow, and you use it to your advantage. In this case, they had so many slow tanks, it took quite a while to step every turn right, and they needed to be sure who is where from eSuba. Once they did it, you could see they did trigger the rail. That was not the main plan. The main plan was to play behind them when they leave. That's why Camille actually came back to the hill, because the other call came, okay, we're going to actually do this.
It was the 2 mouse they didn't know about. They thought the 2 mouse were on the rail side, when actually the 2 mouse were just waiting to push through the middle. And the minute they killed Frawley, Frawley's like, oh, nuts, they're over here. There's now 4 tanks on my side, and Frawley was the only person there.
That was also a big misplay. He should have never been there.
Yeah, he got triple tapped really quickly. So,
never.
Yeah. Nicely done there from Oops. Very, very nicely done. This is like the Oops we saw at the start of yesterday. Now, can they maintain it, Mojo? That's the thing.
I mean, but playing with so many heavy tanks, they should have made a better control out of that outer area. Someone in garage should have been from eSuba. Yeah, Silence is playing really well on the mouse, so I guess these lower tanks are actually something quite handy for him.
He's been in the top 3 damage in most of the rounds here. He's playing an absolute beast right now. Mainland dependable as ever. Milosh dependable as ever as well in 3rd and 4th. Combat as well, you highlighted them at the start, Mojo, for eSuba being one of the players to always watch out for. He comes highest there for eSuba. Actually, 2nd top damage there across all players.
What can you do, but simply not enough there.
Poor Frawley. I mean, that's a 50B. You're taking a 50B here to Himmelsdorf to do damage. 4 shots, nothing in return. Okay, he's shooting at a Type 5 Heavy, and you have the terrifying fear factor of the Type 5 Heavy connecting back with you. But I mean, even Overus, he only shot 1, but at least he connected with it.
Not a cool one. But Overus did a really sloppy job at spotting at the start. He took quite a lot of damage there.
Yeah.
That's not really needed. And then when he was supposed to maybe even fight over the top cap, where he had only 200 HP, that's a consequence that you take up, because he was not really able to deal with his position after that. So that initial HP lost is always something that bites you back at the end part of the game. That's not something you can allow yourself.
Yep, and now we're going to be going into Cliff, where it could be decided. It could be finished here in Cliff, or things could just fall to pieces here for
When
Oops.
you say Cliff on so lovely way, I imagine someone drinking tea and having
Cliff.
pinky up.
I'm trying to say it so people don't go Cliff.
So you're not
Try
gonna,
make sure you say
you're not
the
gonna,
I and not the E. You know, like dang and ding.
so you're not gonna talk drunken English anymore.
Drinking it. It's the secret, Mojo. I'm always drunk. It's just the lights, you can't tell anymore.
You fell in a barrel, man, when you were a boy,
It's a
right?
baby, like Obelix, yeah.
Yeah. Permanently drunk.
Okay, let's have a look at the lineups here for Cliff. And Mojo, something I think is quite funny here is that when the teams were announced in the lineup, it said the team actually, I think it was eSuba, said X amount baby bat chats and then X amount adult bat chats.
Yeah, this is definitely that kind of lineup. 4 of adult big budgets tier 10 and 2 tier 9 baby budgets, as we call them, and an E5. The plan behind this is quite obvious. You want to put an E5 on the top of the lighthouse and dominate the tanks from Oops. But Oops has actually an M40 RT in defense.
Okay, let's see how that art is going to work. It is 3-1 here to Oops. We're jumping into Cliff.
Cliff, the most dynamic map in the league. Battles on Cliff always turn into desperate double-edged fights. Teams start from the same spots as they do in standard battles. The first base is located near the defender's spawn point, and the second is at the bottom of the hill. Sometimes teams split their forces and send several tanks through the 1-2 line to the left of the small hill, but usually both teams play at the center. The attacking team can send one of the tanks up to the lighthouse or behind it. Fast and quick-firing vehicles are better suited for this map, mainly medium tanks, including tanks equipped with autoloaders.
And right into the action here. Oops on the red side defending. eSuba on the blue side are going to be attacking. Now Mojo, there's a substitution again. Swap out again for Oops, where Algo is now in for dead zone.
Well, not something that concerns me, but good for you, man.
Well, Algo has the potential to do huge damage on a tier 10, but sometimes he just has some nightmare games as well.
Sometimes he just goes first or doesn't climb somewhere.
Caster curse, in effect, 100% there.
Well, at the moment, like Oops is doing something normal. They're trying to prevent any kind of push on 1-2 line, and they're just using silence as an anchor on the other side, proxying what's going to happen. I expected eSuba to play more toward the upper hill, but since Froley is spotted here, I think Oops is well aware of what's going on now.
Camille was very lucky there. He took a single shot and was tracked, but no more shots came in against him. So survived an absolute pummeling there from the rest of the tanks from eSuba, who already look like Mojo. They're not too sure about wanting to push this corner anymore.
They don't have to, because they're still using those 3 budgets on the other part of the map to dominate the hill, where Silence is actually alone. I'm not sure about Insane's position now, but maybe he should consider moving somewhere to the corner.
Silence up on that hill on his own. We're looking at Insane's point of view at the moment. He's reversing back on his base, going up into the corner. Milan giving him a bit of support, but he's just crossing far back here so he can cross safely, as Overus is almost at the top of the hill, and Andrew's ahead of him, Mojo. And this could be really bad from Silence, because he doesn't really have any cross-angle shots from his teammates, not unless these 2 tanks peek right over the hill. But we know exactly where Milan's going. He's going up to A5, A6 to give that Overwatch fire.
They cannot really pick over there. It's going to be a huge risk, because for them to do any significant damage there, someone actually has to try to dominate the lighthouse itself, which they're not doing. Oh, the climbs for Oops are not working well, but I think he can still save it.
He's okay there. You can get a little bit of momentum going for him.
Ah, there we go. So Malin going to his trusty old position on the top there behind, and he will cover Silence. And we know he can do huge damage from there. Still, I'm expecting that this RT, which Insane is playing, needs to go on some safe position.
He needs to have a big shot. He needs to do some massive damage here to be able to help turn it for his team. And actually, if he can get a pick here onto Froley or any of the tanks beside him, that could be absolutely devastating here, actually.
This is what I meant, because if Insane was, let's say, from the start of the game somewhere on A1, A2, he could have actually did good connections there. But he expected a possible push, because there was so many of Bachats that maybe eSuba will just do a full YOLO and go for that F2, F3 positions up, you know? And then he would have better shots from that upper position.
We just saw Ukets there trying to blind fire where he expects Milan to be. Now, usually this is a very common place for TVP to be on the defensive side, playing around this rock area. Now, Milan's just not going to do anything to give away his position. Actually, Mojo, it looks like he's dropped down all the way here.
No, I think he's just on the backside, unless he slipped. But I think he's just in the back bushes there.
Yeah, he's still up high, sorry.
So he will be hidden behind the rock. Silence, you need to be careful. We're going to get flanked. Oh, there you go. He saw the enemy. People behind me, Insane, help, aim with the RT.
Yep, now Silence is danger because he's got crossfire there potentially from Pratilicek, and this now allows Froley to move up as well, undetected. And a lot of what survival rate here for Silence is going to be depending on Insane and what he can do.
Well, this is a super responsible position. Silence actually dropped away, and he's going to use the back bushes again on a lower side. You can see very conservative play here from Oops, actually. And it's not that bad, because Oops is rather good on cliff defense. They have like 75% win there, so we might actually take lessons. We've seen some really new stuff from them, like the boost, if you remember, from this side of this rock where Apple Wow got stuck. You can actually boost from this side, win a choo-choo train, and position tank up.
Nice connection there from Deca onto Froley 389. I mean, this is something we've seen Oops do before, actually. Multiple times they've pushed a tank up onto that area. Some people sometimes call it the small donut, even although it's the opposite of a donut because it's the raised bit that's left. But yeah, we've seen it. I think Milos was usually the one that got pushed up into that area and could do a lot of damage. Damage going there onto Lukin in the back corner, and there's a little two-man push coming round here, Mojo. Let's actually listen into the TeamSpeak of eSuba and see how they're going to finish this one.
Teď ho nevidím, co oba.
Teď dostanu
Teď ho vidím, jo?
Ty jsi musel ale jako je to
bacha na tohle, ale.
Píče, vole. Můžete zabít toho bata?
Zkusím, najmuju.
Rychle.
Vidím, já ho nevidím, co bylo.
Oni tam byli dva bati, hej. On je tady na tom boostu. Jsme o tom nevěděli vůbec.
To píč.
Hej, tak aspoň tam jeden můžete dojet?
Nabijím. Skyro. Ale tam mě vyklipuje ten bat tady ze zhora, že?
Ten nabíjí.
Okay.
On se vystřelil do mě.
Pojďte Kamila.
Teď mě tady nebude teď u mě teda, jo?
Kombat zabije Kamila, ale musíš pak zdrat.
Jedou na vás. Jedou tam na vás všichni.
Jedou na kombata.
Já se přejdu. Pečku jedno venku, Luky nespotnil, zkus ho spotnout.
Já nevím, kde je.
No, nad tebou je přímo.
No, ty vole.
Já se nabijím teda.
TVP.
Jsem mrtvej, no.
Silence někdo.
Ten baťák mě zabije, vole.
Mají artu furt jako.
TV posvítí.
Já nemůžu, já nabijím.
Já nabijím.
16 mě střílí.
No,
Zabiju ty bati z midu.
Já nabijím.
Co prostě vzít tohle všechno a pušnout ty baty na mid teď. Mají
Musím
ten
teď
down
muset,
a
já
artu.
jsem tady mrtvej.
Pojďte,
Pojďte
máme
na ten
hádka.
mid. Kdo tam je?
Počkej, TV můžu.
A
Tam jsou low ty tanky, proč?
Já můžu TVP za 15.
TV, nechte si... Když se uvidíte, tak... Ale na jistotu, jako jinak střelí neplateujte.
9.
Chcete...
Uvidím tak kousek jako, kousek boku.
Pojďte. Já mám za 3.
Tady toho vzadu.
Alga.
Čo, ať to vidím, vole.
Pojď
Jak
Alga,
bude
jen,
to
pojď in.
Tady pomáhne.
Algo. Nice.
Však jsi byl plnej overusy, ne?
No tak mě vidělo to TV.
And actually, Mojo just noticed there, Insane getting a kill there right at the end as well. But this is going to be 4-1 to Oops, and I think you're just saying there the push just came a bit too late from them.
I mean, it wasn't well coordinated because I understood what they wanted at this moment with E5. When I saw him rotate, I was expecting they will try to late push him up the hill, but they chose against it. And then they pushed him just the easy way on that 5 line. That made a huge possibilities for crossfire for Oops. They killed the T5 for free. If they wanted something like that, they should have pushed him at least over the edge, over the 6 line, where he would have a cooldown, and he would be a harder target. He would go from upper position on Silence from there. Silence actually managed to do entire clip, man. He out-survived his any kind of possibilities.
Yep, he overstayed his welcome in a way, I guess you could say. But look at this, Ukets goes down in just a blink of an eye, and there we go. Oops taking that round and sitting here 4-1 ahead of eSuba. And this is exactly the Oops that we saw, as I said, the start of yesterday. They were looking strong, they were outplaying their opponents. They just need to keep it together. Just one more round, guys, and you can be like, just one more game to go. Just tomorrow's game, and then that's them. They've got their 3-game weekend out of the way. And then they're going to be in a better position.
Well, they still need to win one more game here because yesterday they did have 4-1 and it didn't end up that well,
and
right?
Gunrunners are going to be playing tomorrow as well.
Yes, but today they need to focus on eSuba. There is one more round on Cliff here to see can they take it as attackers because their attacking side is not that brilliant compared to the defense. We've seen them actually do some interesting things there, but mostly some of them would usually make mistakes that turned out to be crucial during those moments. I actually expect they might even try something super fast here, but they do like to play with RT also.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they do go super fast, I'll be honest, it will surprise me, because right now, Oops are playing more patient, and that seems to be working more in their favour. They're playing more controlled rather than playing more loose. Deca coming top damage here with Milos right behind him, 3.3 from Deca, 2.7 from Milos, both picking up 3 kills as well, Mojo. So that was a bit of a 2-man carry there for Oops.
Yes, Kamil didn't really play that well. We saw that on the other side. He even missed some shells. He had some luck even to be missed. But still, all over the place, it was the Oops guys who had the control. Even when they saw Mayland in his TVP, you could hear Pretelichek. I don't understand the language, but I understood exactly what he said. He said, like, I just see a little piece of his turret. I cannot correct this.
Yeah, it was so close. You could see it every time he was moving. He had, like, slight outline, no outline, slight outline, no outline. Unfortunately, we talked about Insane, like, potentially having a big impact in the battle. Okay, he didn't have one, but he still got a kill. And that's somebody else's shot that was saved. And, well, you know.
It is a big impact, because if they push the E5 from the start on the Lighthouse up, this is what you do against it. RT is the bane for that.
It's also the fear factor as well, that teams are playing more cautiously because they're worried about getting caught out and getting that RT strike as well, because it can come from anywhere realistically.
The ridiculous thing is actually eSuba did what Oops thought, that they will push the 1-2 line from the start. There was a high chance they would actually win. They couldn't know it because Algo fell down and he would not be there to help his teammates on the time. But of course, you cannot know that. That's a risk that everything takes when you push. It's a blind moment, and it sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. eSuba tried to play cautious, didn't work out.
Yep, now we're going to see how Oops are going to do this one. It's going to be Oops on the attack, it's going to be eSuba to defend. And are Oops going to bring anything new, or are they going to go with the standard lineup? Cliff is normally like favours all the bat chats, and then we sometimes see different tanks being used, but still it's normally
Oops
like...
just likes to play sometimes with RT and 6 bat chats. We'll see, will they pick something like that this time, or something completely different that can even give away maybe their tactics.
Give away the tactics, indeed, it could do that, but it can also make their team think, damn, how do we deal with this? Because this is not something that we perhaps have planned for.
I don't know. Oops often has some strange ideas. Then when you think you saw something and you think you know what you're going to do, they do something else.
Yeah, they do like curveballs. Let's have a look at the lineups here. And well, it's no surprise that even on Cliff, we still get to see a mouse being used.
Well, Oops is not using an artillery here, but they are using a mouse. It's going to be rather interesting because that slow tank...
This makes
I don't think they should even bother going to up. It's going to be something with 1-2.
Yeah, this says 1-2 line push to me. But it could be used as a bait. It could be used as a bait.
No, you can just push him later.
Yeah. If the mouse is effective as having artillery, it's a bait, but it's 3,200 HP points that the team has to get through.
Armored HP.
So Oops are going to be attacking from the red side, and eSuba are going to be defending from the blue side, Mojo. I'm really interested to see how they use this mouse. We're going to see Milosh in it. He's generally the player that always plays heavy tanks for Oops. I'm expecting perhaps 1-2 line because, well, there's just no point in trying to climb the mouse up anyway. But hey, Oops, you're going to show me I'm completely wrong and you're going to push the mouse up into the hill area.
So they're going to go a long way. This is not something I expected, but of course it doesn't really matter in this kind of game because that mouse is not going to be fastest anyway. You can always try to push him like eSuba did in the previous round. And if there is no great crossfire, actually he can bounce quite a lot of shells by these tanks. Ooh, this is super interesting.
This is a new boost area, and look at this. They've got Insane up in that area already.
Nice,
Oops.
Insane.
Oops, bringing out the new tactics and showing teams, hey guys, look what we can do and look what you can perhaps do in future rounds. That gives his team a huge amount of information because he's able to say, guys, there's nobody here, they're looping around the other side. And this is exactly what eSuba are trying to do, Mojo. They're thinking to themselves, they're not going to go 1-2 line, they're going to go around the other side of the hill. And look at this, pretty much Oops are almost ready to receive it completely here.
eSuba is super aggressive there. The interesting thing is that they do not know where is Insane, but they didn't even bother spotting 1-2 line. So this could be a blind clash here. Look at this. Silence and Camille might run into eSuba Bachats without even knowing.
Silence and Camille getting spotted. The Silence already gets focused down. Look at that, 598 health. I was just about to say this, Mojo. If a fight happens, Algo and Insane are not able to help out their teammates, and whoever's at the front here is going to take an absolute pasting for it. Right away, Silence is that poor sacrificial lamb, and he got pummeled there from those guns of eSuba.
It's a retreat time, they're well aware of it. Milosh is actually trying to press now toward the middle, but hey, that's a mouse, man. 20 kilometers per hour at his best moments.
Now this is a problem that Oops have. They have a tank that can't rotate. They need to be able to focus shots, and they need all their team and all their guns available for them to do so. This first strike, if you like, from eSuba could be telling already. This could really impact the rest of how this battle goes.
Let's see what will Milosh be able to do there in his mouse, because he can still bring a victory for Oops. It's not done yet. It's far from done.
Algo, that was a very nice shot and a very lucky shot as he got one into Tomasek and actually damaged his turret ring, which makes it harder for Tomasek to try and snap aim back on him to try and get that shot with the derp gun of the T-49.
I wouldn't know what's worse there, to destroy his turret or a gun, man.
That was very lucky. Milos taking a shot there in the mouse, 2 shots in the mouse, but I mean, he can take multiple shots all day long and have to worry about it. Miss from Insane there on Frawley as Milos is just trying to bait out some shots. And it looks like eSuba are wanting to give up this right-hand side of the map, Mojo, and go back to playing on the hill.
He's actually trying to climb a mouse up on a mountain, driving backwards, man.
He could carry on from here, yeah.
Yeah, he can.
And then what are you going to do when he gets up there? I mean, if you get in the wrong angle, he'll just push you off the hill.
I don't know, can he go all the way? Because these budgets could be shooting him in a side and so on. So that could be quite a problem. And there is no gathering of Oops tanks because that would be needed. They would need to use that to counter-attack and one of them to maybe stay back to cover him so he's not shot from upper position. So it's going to be really vital because every play that Oops does, it will evolve around Milos. Milos is a key trump card here.
Yep, having that mouse in their lineup gave them a huge HP advantage, but now they're actually down in HP almost by about 1,000. So Oops need to be able to get in a situation where they can get some shots at the tanks of eSuba and vitally not take any damage back in return to try and even things out, because if they try and go for head-to-head trades, Oops are going to lose in that situation.
Not Tomoza trades. I mean, they need to use Mouse and his armor to push away the tanks from the top of the hill and then use the rest of the budgets to push from the lower side. Try to get an overmatch and maybe just annihilate them by better focusing and better positioning. We're gonna see how will it work out because they have quite a lot of split tanks, but it's not something that eSuba can really use.
Algo got a nice shot there into Overus, but wasn't able to get his other 2 shots. But vitally, he actually damaged Overus's gun, and that could actually have a huge impact later on, as well as Overus is trying to shoot from long range over at A5, A6, and his aiming is going to be affected by that.
So Mailand is a trusty sniper. He's left behind to cover Milos here on the top of the hill. You can see Mailand here on that K5 corner next to the water. He's on the top of that little mountain. He will have good shots from there. And we see Kamil, who is pretty much stuck on the lower side, and he will give announcement if someone is coming from the lower line. All of the other budgets are completely away on the other side of the map. So I guess they will try to press Tomaszek maybe and the other guys from the lower side. But that's huge gamble. That's huge gamble. Ooh, Andrew's picking up a lot of damage.
I was just going to say, Andrew took a shot and got his tracks damaged there, and now he's down to half health. That was a very dangerous peek as he wanted to get the kill onto Milos, or get damage onto Milos. They might actually surround Milos here on the top of the hill. There is a movement. Camille went down, so there's even more tanks here from eSuba on that right-hand side. And at the same time, Oops are going to make a push up the 1-2 line, Mojo, and let's actually listen into the team speak of Oops and see how they're going to do this.
Milos, I have 2 for you, but...
I can cover Milos with 4 shots.
I can finish this 49. Did it hit?
Milos, watch out of the hill.
No, I don't know. Not yet.
And one around. You can around. On the right.
Maybe I will spot the TVP.
Yeah,
I will be ready to shoot the TVP in case.
I'm safe.
Watch out, TVP.
Fuck, I got spotted.
They are picking aggressively.
I have 4 shells, I will keep him there. You go reload. You go reload that.
Guys,
4 shells.
I'm reload.
Yes, it's me. I will show you the replay.
I'm trying to go for you.
I'll go, you have to go there and just proxy him.
Okay. The badge from hill is snapping me, I will go.
Never mind, you'll die.
I'm taking a reload. Yes, yes.
And he's spotted now. I'm reloading.
Oh, that's super shit. I'm loading also. I just took the worst. If you take reload, just tell me in advance, please.
I can shoot him anyway.
Myland, why did you went in?
If you can spot him.
I had to
30 seconds, okay,
Just answer me, why did you went in?
17. You think you can spot him again?
Hello?
I cannot at the moment.
Hello?
It's just safe.
10
I
seconds.
can try, but...
Myland?
6
Okay.
seconds.
Got it.
Well, Myland suicided. And since we don't spot anyone here, maybe we should play safe, because they could push around and you went
You have
like
3
totally
minutes.
carelessly here. Yeah, it's
You have
already
HP
sort of over.
disadvantage.
Especially if one guy is suiciding.
I just wonder why did we go there instead of like doing always here.
I even
I'm just
tell
gonna
them
go
to be,
here.
I have the records. I even said in the record, be careful of...
Well, I mean, it's still potential, still sitting there potentially able to do Mojo, but not looking so great there. I mean, they lost Milos really
Not gonna
quickly.
happen, man. Like, they have 6 tanks here by Suba, 3,000, 4,000 HP more. It's just falling apart because they really didn't expect that move from eSuba on a start. You remember when those 3 tanks just hijacked some of the HP, got Kamil stuck because they really relied they will actually climb Milos all the way up, dominate the hill, but that part of the game was not really well designed.
It's unfortunate because Oops did that beautiful climb. They got themselves into a great position. They were hoping that eSuba would expect a 1-2 line push. They had the tank there to spot. They had 2 tanks on that flank to spot. And then when that fight came round, when eSuba thought ahead, you know, you think you know what you think you know, but we know what you know type thing. They were like, okay, well, we'll just push round that flank really hard. And Oops didn't have any backup when that small fight started at the start.
eSuba just didn't play any kind of mind game. They saw, okay, they have a mouse. The biggest threat for us is if they climb him up to the lighthouse. We are going to play against it. They threw everything they had there up on a lighthouse and around. And Oops, while they were trying to do some fancy stuff, let's call it like that, a new boost on that Bacha to spot over the 1-2 line, to have a crossfire from there unexpected, because if someone was watching down, he would not expect him up there. And then you boost the mouse up. That would work marvelously, except for one thing. eSuba already had tanks waiting.
Yep. So nicely done from eSuba. They read the vehicle lineup and thought, we think we know what they're going to do, so we're going to like go for it. Let's have a look at the stats and see where the damage came around from each team. Who was top? Who was the the heroes and the villains, if you like? I mean, it's quite actually equal here on the first page. 7th page, 7th place, all the way down at 1.5. Frawley having a monster game here, 2.8, and then Andrew 2.4, Ukets with 2.2, Combat, I mean, top 5 players all coming out here from
decent game for Suba here. It was rather one-sided most of the time. Simply, Oops didn't know what to do after their initial thing went wrong. They didn't have the correct answer. They were trying with some rotations here, there to regroup the tanks, but the fact is Suba covered their angles very well and deserved to win this round.
And we had it as well that the team speak from Oops compared to, for example, yesterday was a lot more calmer, a lot more, trying to keep things going and just say, look, why did we do that? What went wrong here? Not like it was yesterday, perhaps, when, Insane wasn't too happy about the heavies not protecting Algo. But it was more of a, okay, guys, like, that we can do this. Like, I'm going to do this. You heard Algo saying, I'm going to peek. I'm going to try and spot the TVP. Be ready. And like, okay, I'm ready to cover you. But then you also had, like, Mayland, what were you doing? And there was, like, no answer. So it's getting, I mean, hopefully, Oops, like, chill, talk to each other in this gap between the rounds.
Honestly, even if Mayland answered something, what good would it make? The match was still going on.
Yeah, the match was over, I guess, but...
You need to deal with current situation, not past tense.
Yeah, because, I mean, you can still try and formulate a plan, like, it happened, talk about it after the round, get stuck into the next one, but hopefully they can do this. Hopefully it won't be another 4-1 tilt. I really hope not.
They're going for mines now. Honestly, I think this mech works for them. They should be able to pick up at least one side there for sure. It doesn't matter which, really, defense at least. I mean, though we concluded yesterday, Ducky showed me that actually mines is now offensive map, guys. It's above 50% in attack. Who would ever think you will see that in lifetime? Not me, because in every season I played or commented or whatever, and I've been there from the start, it was never, ever attacking side.
Well, let's have a look at the lineups here for the first round of Mines Mojo and see if there's going to be anything unique or different here, or is there going to be something we've already seen before? And this eSuba defense Mojo is looking quite heavily armed.
2 mouse and an RT, IS-4 also. Okay, that's rather heavy, but why 2 mouse exactly? I really do not know. I will need to see that. I mean, this looks like a heavily prone defense toward the village side, with RT to cover their flanks. Over the water. I
was just thinking that maybe they're going to push the 2 mouse up the right-hand side of the map and then have the bat-chats on... I mean, you could probably have 1 bat-chat on the island on the left. Guerrilla, where we normally expect the Guerrilla to be around the... was it the 4 line, I guess?
Possibly both RT and Guerrilla on K4.
And then Oops on the attack, taking a mouse as well, and an RT.
A mouse is good because you can use it to cover someone behind to cap. And it can be used on both, on water cap or on village side.
2 TVPs as well from Oops. This is going to be interesting. Oops currently leading here 4-2. We're going to go into the first round. It's going to be Mines.
Mines, a small summertime map with lots of hills, rocks and other cover. The teams start the battle in the usual locations, but the base locations are different. One is located in the bottom part of the village and the other one is in the water. One of the key objectives is the center hill. That's why the teams will often select fast vehicles and tanks with strong turrets for cover.
Okay, and this battle is underway. It is Oops on the red side attacking, it's eSuba on the blue side defending, and Decha is going to be playing in the mouse this time, and Milosh is going to be in the 1-1-3.
Decha plays mouse rather decent, man. It's not a problem. And there we go, immediately aggressive approach by Oops toward the hill. Of course, they know there is absolutely nothing eSuba can do about it.
How much damage is going to come in? Who's going to get shot? Will it be
No
silent?
one, no one.
There's a gap. Okay, no shots coming in at all, so huge hill control start there from Oops. Now, can he get anyone spotted out here? Can he get any shots back in return and give information to the rest of their team?
So they left actually one mouse in a base. Pratelicek is gonna do proxy on the below the hill with mouse, and Ice4 is behind the house, a standard position there. So they're doing a triangle of defense there with the heaviest tanks they have. Froly, H1 budget on the island. I actually expected to have Grille or
UKS is pushing combat.
Ice4.
UKS is pushing combat over into K1, K2 right now. He was waiting to push him in the back chat. If we can see this, look. Moving him faster into that corner.
Yeah,
already he's combat spotted. Artillery's going to aim, and Camille actually gets the kill. Back chat in the middle, and that plan already from eSuba has fallen to pieces, and that is vital information for Oops. That is a great start for them.
This is something I was kind of worried for eSuba, because yeah, you can push the RT there, but you need to cover your bases much better. What Oops did, they used the elevated position of Camille on F5. That's not a normal spotting position, but teams that use really a lot.
And there was no counterfire back as well there, because, I mean, perhaps Andrew and the Gorilla could have got a shot there, but that was really nicely done from Camille. Free damage there. And Mojo, how do you think this one's going to go from here?
What I wanted to show here, this is a Camille's position. This is something that Suba didn't count in, because they use the mouse here who proxies this general area. But he does not see Camille. So when they thought, okay, Froly was doing active spot from here, there is no one spotting from here, no one can see you, they try to push RT in this position, and here behind the rock he would have a perfect angles to annihilate this position here. You know very well that from here you can really push the tank below hill, shooting HE grenades, provide cover for Bachats who will climb up, and this RT can be a constant problem covered by this rock here. That didn't work out because of the simple detail. They didn't count in this position, and that position is mainly used lately by a lot of teams to spot freely.
Okay, now Insane has moved over onto the 9-0 line, Mojo, and he's going to have some shots. He knocked over a tree, but it doesn't really matter because, well, Milosh has to be careful here because Lukin can actually draw a shot on him, but I would give away Lukin's position as well. Silence on the minimap moving up on the left-hand side, but right now the action here is on the right-hand side where Insane can drop one right onto Pratelicek's head, perhaps. No, he can't.
It's a Lorraine RT after all, and even if he does, like, what would he do? 200-300 damage at best. This is the thing, Milosh is spotted here, but if Insane gains speed, it's gonna be interesting. He's gonna try to shoot from the back here, in which case Lukin, who didn't get spotted, can actually do something about it. Insane is spotted now, maybe they can return with killing the RT.
Insane needs to get himself safe. He has to be careful because Pratelicek can't shoot in that area. Now Insane is desperate to get a shot onto Pratelicek, and Insane is still lit right now, Mojo. This is really dangerous play right now.
Oh, he faded finally. I was actually expecting that maybe Lukin will be able to do the shot, but this is something we've seen before. You can see Insane now is covered by this frontal rock, and now he will actually be a pain in the butt of Pratelicek. Pratelicek will have to go backwards, but then he will have silence from the island.
Froly getting shot as well. This is going to be punishing. Is Insane actually trying to climb here, Mojo? Can he actually do this?
No. He'll shoot from here. Exactly here. He'll just shoot over the rock, and he'll shoot on Pratelicek.
Okay, he's got to be careful because the train will keep him sliding if he doesn't actually get in a position where he's solid.
Yeah, he just needs to find a good position. We've seen actually this done even by Ding. If you remember, Meritorious was doing this.
Pratelicek, that shot might connect with you, mate. Actually, he's angled just slightly better. I think that's going to hit the rocks rather than Pratelicek. We'll see. Oh, well, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Taxi for Ektar. Thank you. Check, please.
It's a 50-50 anyways, so it's not a big mistake by you. But Pratelicek can actually fight against it, but he needs to glue himself more heavily toward the mountain. A lot of good shots here by Froly toward Decha. But now Froly has no clip.
Decha, now Silence. I was thinking perhaps Silence could push up. The Mainland is given Overwatch in that position as well. So this is nice map control here from Oops. They have all the angles covered they want. It looks like there might be Camille now, Mojo, going for a hill climb.
Yeah, he will go for a hill climb for sure. Now, Pratelicek is far away. There is only Ice4 who can spot anything, but can even anyone shoot at Camille? I don't think so. Maybe they will even do the double climb. Look at this.
Now, this is dangerous because we've seen this with teams before and the first person messes up. If they can get a double hill climb here, this is pretty much GG. They need to do this really good.
Well, this is why Algo is second and not first.
Oh, Mojo. That is harsh, big man. Insane moves out of the way as Camille charges on. He is spotted. Algo's coming around as well. Hopefully there's no communication errors about getting up. Camille gets up safely. Algo, big pressure moment for you, mate. Algo gets up safely as well. How many shots are they going to take?
Only
Camille's
one. There is only Pratelicek who can shoot, man, and there is no Arti.
This is good. This is great play from Oops. 2 tanks up in this area is going to be really punishing for eSuba now.
UKets and Froley are gathering up. It might be that they will actually push 1-2 line now to try to establish some foothold there to dominate the map while they're pulling away slowly tanks back because the other guys will be in problem. But Mayland was laying there and waiting for this.
UKets got tracked. Mayland could only actually get 2 shots into him. Now he's on a reload. Now, Silence has actually moved all the way off that flank. He's going back into the middle of his teammates. So, okay, UKets has got that left flank, but how useful is that going to be for them?
Yeah, Silence doesn't care, man. He's also TVP together with Mayland. They will leave them the island. If they try to cross island, they will shoot them. If they come from the back, it's still TVP. He shoots much faster. Andrew taking a massive damage now here, trying to pull back. And he might get shot by TVPs for extra.
Andrew there spotted by the mouse up on the hill of Deca. Now, Andrew could also be potentially shot at here from Insane. Insane's actually moving to the other flank now, Mojo, to continue to harass Pratelicek underneath that hill.
Hey, this is brilliant play, man. I told you, this is a round when they actually Oops can break them. Yes, eSuba still has a huge advantage in HP, but it's not going to be critical if the tank starts falling down.
I tell you what, Mojo, Camille and Algo are going to have a hell of a job shooting down on Overus, though, in that base on the mouse. That's not a tank I would want to shoot down on.
I hope they have enough heat ammo there. But we've seen also one game that Oops played like this. It was tactically really well done, but still they didn't close the deal on the time. You remember Haiba survived
but that's happened
on
before
one shot.
As well. They've done it on another map. They did it here before as well, where they've not been able to do it, where somebody missed a shot shooting down. Camille actually missed a shot shooting down. That was the same match, sorry.
UKets isn't a problem here.
UKets taking damage. Pratelicek now taking damage as well as Silence is going to clip out into UKets. One more shot and he goes down. So eSuba have lost another tank here. They've lost their artillery. They've lost one of the Batchats, their main damage dealers. And Oops are in complete control here of this map. The positioning from them is really strong. And eSuba, I mean, they are the defensive team. Generally, the defensive team doesn't need to move out. But there's just pretty much nowhere they can go that's safe right now.
Lukin is left out of the game behind his building. No one is watching him. This mouse is between the hammer man and how do you call that?
Hammer and the anvil?
Anvil, yes. Hammer and anvil, because he can get shot now by Arti from the back and Batch's front. They just need a spot on him.
Little tap in the rear end and Pratelicek from the Arties continues to harass them there. So another shot there coming down from Algo. Nicely done into the top. They're going through the roof right now. Pratelicek's trying to stop. He can't really do anything right now as Camille's not shoot. Actually, it's just all Algo at the moment. Camille can now come in with these full clips. Pratelicek can get one back. On the other flank, we see Mayland and Silence pushing in here onto Froley. And this is good now. Oops are just smelling blood, Mojo. They're saying, we want this one. It's 5-2. It's going to be our game.
Overus just missed on Silence. Silence is pressuring Froley. Froley cannot really he can't do anything about it. TVP is shooting faster, and there is more of them. So they're closing in. Yes, HP looks the close, but look at this. All 7 Oops players are alive. They hold all critical positions. It's all left for them to shoot off eSuba or even cap somewhere. They can choose whatever they want.
They can do exactly whatever they want. As Mayland now gets the kill on Andrew, you only have Overus and Lukin left. They could sit somebody on base 1 cap if they want, just to further antagonize them. But no, Algo's going to come down and get shots with Lukin. He's going to take a shot here for it, but he's going to be able to clip out all of his shots into Lukin as Milosh is going to come over and support him as well. One shot into the side, one more from Algo, and that'll be another kill into Lukin. Milosh doing a great job there of protecting his teammate, blocking the shot so that Algo doesn't die. And then it's Milosh that gets the kill on Lukin. All you have left is Overus in his mouse, 725 health. That's going to drop down really quickly, and this is going to be Oops' map. It's going to be their round, and vitally, it's going to be their match, Mojo.
Yes, with this 3 points they're going to pick up here, they're actually going above eSuba. So eSuba is taking the 6th position, while Oops will be on 5th with 18 points, 1 point above them. Which is really important for them, as we said, for those grand final points and for the seeding later, because if you are on 6th, you are risking to play either against Ding, Kazna, or Go